everybody, and thank you for watching my YouTube channel. If you are new here, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so very much for supporting my channel. In this tutorial, I want to go over a project that I had created and want to share with you guys. So this is real-time crypto tracker. So the first thing we're going to do is I'll do step 1, import libraries as usual. And step 2, I'll fetch and real-time cryptocurrency data using a CoinGecko API. So we're going to store current prices into a data frame and then track and append historical price data. Then we'll do a visualization with trends for a single cryptocurrency and then compare multiple currencies in one graph and then save the historical data for future use. So it's already typed up here. So as you can see, step 1, here is the libraries. So here we need to use the request. So this is for making API calls off of the website that we're going to be using. And then we're going to import Pandas as PD for organizing data. And then we're going to import time. This is to set intervals for real-time tracking. And then, of course, the Matplotlib for the visualizations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my kernel here on top, and I'm going to select Restart Kernel and Clear Outputs of all cells. And restart. This is to clean all of my output. So I'm going to go ahead and just start running my cells. So I'm going to click on this play button here. This is a star now, but once it runs smoothly, it will give me a number. There we go. So now step 2 is we're going to access a cryptocurrency API. We'll be using the CoinGecko API, which is free and easy to use. So here's the URL. So this is what we're going to call it, URL equals, and then this URL here. So this website here, the CoinGecko.com. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So here is the website. And as you can see, there are a lot of cryptocurrency prices by market cap. So this is basically the website that we're going to use for that API. Now we'll use the parameters, which is specifies the cryptocurrency and current to fetch. So we're going to fetch this cryptocurrency IDs, convert to prices, to USD dollars. That's what this code here is for. And make sure to use your curly brackets here to open that up. Then we're going to test the API call. So we're going to call this response, and then that's the request.get URL. So remember, this request here is what that library we use. That's why we imported that library. So we can actually call this. So that's request.url. So that URL is the URL that we are pulling from this name here. And then the parameters. So here we're going to do crypto data equals response.json. Then we print the results. So I'm going to go ahead and hit run. And here it is. So now it's pulling, basically giving us approval to pull this data. So Bitcoin, USD dollars, and so on and so forth. So step 3, we're going to store in Pandas data set. So we'll structure the data into a data frame for easier handling. So now we're going to convert API response into a data frame. So we're going to call it DF. And then we're going to call DF reset index, and then the DF columns. So these are the columns we're using. The cryptocurrency and then the price USD dollars, right? And now we want to display the data set. So print current prices. And then we're going to say print DF, which is this here. So we're going to go ahead and run that code. Now you have the current prices. So this is what this says here. So we're going to print current prices. That's what it's printing. Then we're printing the DF, which is from here down to here. There are the variables cryptocurrency and price. And now step 4, we're going to do create a real-time tracker. So we'll update the prices every 10 seconds, such as append them to a historical data set. So the first thing you do is you create an empty list to store historical data, which that's what this is here. And you can see the brackets are empty. So that's the empty list. Then we track prices in real time. So for underscore in range 5, we adjust the range for longer tracking. And the response equals response.get URL, the parameters, and then there's crypto data response.json. Then we add the timestamp and store in historical data. So here's the timestamp. And now we're storing the historical data. So we do the for crypto, comma, info in crypto underscore data dot items. Okay, and then we go ahead and we're going to wait for 10 seconds before the next API call. So that's what this is for. So it's time.sleep, and then that's the 10 for 10 seconds. Then we convert historical data to a data frame. So the historical underscore DF, that's what we're going to call it. And then we're going to pull this, which is the PD.dataFrame historical data. For our columns, timestamp, cryptocurrency, and price USD. Now we're going to go ahead and display historical data. So we'll go ahead and run that. You still see an asterisk sign there. So once it's a number sign, it means it's ran smoothly. So every 10 seconds will be an API call. Okay, so now there's a 7. So as you can see, it went ahead and threw out an output of historical data. That's what we asked it to put there. And then the next thing is print df.head. So this is our df.head for display. So as you can see, there's our variables timestamp, which we indicated to go ahead and put that there. Cryptocurrency is here, and then the price USD is here. So those are our 3 columns. Going down to step number 5. Now we're going to go ahead and visualize the trends. So I'm going to go ahead and run this code. So in this one, we're going to go ahead and we'll create a line chart to visualize the price trends over time. So the first thing we do is we're going to go ahead and name this Bitcoin underscore data. This is filters data for Bitcoin. Then we'll plot the price trends. So here is the whole plots of what we want it to do, right? So here is the timestamps for price USD variable. And also we have the price for the y-axis. The x-axis is the timestamp. And the title of this will be Bitcoin price trend. You can see here Bitcoin price trend. So here is the Bitcoin is in blue. That's what we asked it to label Bitcoin. And as you can see, it shows a line graph of these numbers. So this is the time it will update this trend as it pulls the API, which we did up here in step number 4. So here is your visualization. So next we're going to add multiple cryptocurrencies into the visualizations. So we'll be comparing trends for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's what these lines of code here is for. Remember, this is what we call this variable. And then we're going to go ahead and plot both price trends. So now we're going to go ahead and plot it. Here we have our timestamp price Bitcoin label, cryptocurrency price trend. This is your title. We have our X label and Y label, which is timestamp and price USD dollars. So we're going to go ahead and run this, which I already did, and this is going to be the visualization. So as you can see, we have the cryptocurrency price trend, which is Bitcoin is in blue, and the Ethereum is in orange. And then there is your timestamps here on the bottom here, and then there's your prices on your Y label. So now you can go ahead and save your data. So save to CSV file. Simply this code here saves your CSV file. This one here is basically just to print an output of the code running smoothly. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. See, here's your output, as I mentioned. So this is our main name for our data set, but you want to go ahead and rename it. You can to crypto_price_data.csv. And that is what I did. So now that it's saved and you're not sure where it gets saved to, it gets saved to Jupyter Notebook under your files under crypto price. So if I double click it, it will open up your data set. So it looks just like the data set we created using the Python code. Your three variables here, timestamp, cryptocurrency, and price in USD dollars. So that is how you save your data set to a CSV. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. So please, if you're not already subscribed, please think about subscribing, like this video, share this video. Any support is much appreciated. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you on the next video.